This meeting is being recorded.
Hello, everybody.
Hi, Steven. How you doing?
Oh, you can hear me.
I made it. Yeah, I can hear you. You can see
Thanks,
you
man.
too.
You will see me in a second. Just give me a second. I'm just kicking out all these fathoms. I don't know what's happening. Why I have two? You have one. Like so many AI tools. One.
We didn't create any.
Okay. Let me get the camera rolling. Hey, everybody. How are you? How's everyone?
And it's 5:30 in the morning here.
Oh, wow. Congrats.
That's how I could make it. See, no appointments.
Just arrived home. Okay. Hey, Gemma. Hey, Tanay. Hey, Maribo. And hey, iPad. If you can tell me whose iPad. No, they won't say. Well, I don't know who is it, but like this is private.
It's me, Chris.
Sorry?
Somebody said
Can you hear me? That's Chris.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Chris likes to work on his iPad, so it's him. Okay. Then all good. No, because it's a private call. I don't know who is it. Like I was like, okay, gotcha. Awesome. Okay, folks. So have you checked the checklist we shared with you? Do you have time to check that? Anyone? You can type in the comment or let me know, unmute yourself.
No, I haven't
Are
checked.
you talking about in Notion?
Yeah.
Yes, I have. I didn't get a chance to watch the videos yet, but I have it bookmarked.
Okay. Okay. So okay. So you just saw that it's available. You got the template. So I don't know. Hey Leslie, what about you,
Hi.
man? Tanmay?
Yeah, I've also gone through it, but haven't seen the videos.
Hmm. Okay. Okay. Leslie, have you checked maybe the checklist? Do you have time?
No, I don't think I have. No. Where is it, Stefan? In the
We just did a post a couple of days ago, and you also in the classroom it's available.
I think I did briefly look at it, but I've been very busy with other things.
No, totally. Everything okay. Just so I know where's everyone. Like, did you? What about Gemma and Chris? Can you let me know? Did you have time to check it? You can write in the chat or let me see. Gemma says yes. But you actually, Gemma, watched the videos, or you just got the like others? You did. You got the checklist. You bookmarked it and. Okay, cool, awesome. And Chris? So not at all. Okay. Okay, then let's take a look at that first. So let me share my screen. Okay, can you see it here on my screen?
Yes.
Anyone? Yes, perfect. Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, so you will have basically the idea here is to have all in one spot that would make your life easier to organize when you're working now on your next asset. So that's why this checklist. You can still watch the, yes?
I just think this is brilliant. Thank you. I'm like so excited to dive into it.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad. So the idea is you go from basically each step and you go like you have a track here, you have influence, you have convert, right? Now these we are working on, but this is available now. And we want to see also obviously based on your feedback. Once you go through the videos and everything that's included obviously there, and you start working on your next asset, like what questions you have, what, you know, maybe you're like clarity on something or what worked well, obviously you will share your wins because we can double down on that and work more on those things and so on. So we want to see what would be most helpful to you. But this here is basically the steps we take and what we do when we work on something. Now, why this is important, maybe some of you know, maybe some of you don't. I'll give you just a quick backstory, but basically I'll start with Mio because he started obviously long before me. He was online. He had like a Facebook group or something, and he was interviewing people like entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, marketers, and but he wasn't monetizing. He didn't know how to monetize, right? Then he started with affiliate marketing and started monetizing. And as all of us, the way he started was engaging with those people, adding friends, following them, right? Engaging in right groups, posting, and then jumping on calls and obviously on Messenger, selling one-to-one calls and Messenger. That was the combination. And then slowly, I'll skip the growth part and just tell you that then he ended up using different acquisition assets to not only attract and bring leads, but actually pre-sell them, sell them, sometimes even close them, and then to or if he needed to close them, it was more or less just Messenger, you know, short back and forth, or if it was something really pricey, then on the call, but mostly it was to agree how to close a deal. Okay, and now I will tell you, he can tell you about his story and epiphany better. I'll tell you what happened with me. So I started with his course May 18th, 2021. Some of you might know, I know the exact date because it's literally 7 days after my daughter was born. And I started the same way, right? So mostly I was doing everything one-to-one, and I had really good run results pretty fast. And 3 months I went full-time online. I was creating full-time income. I crossed like first 5K month, and then I had consecutive 10K months. I was doing calls, a lot of calls. I was doing a ton of video DMs, and I was active on Messenger all day long. Like I can find the stats, maybe, I don't know, I can check if I can find in the history of my phone, I don't know if it can go that far, how much time I would spend daily on Messenger, but it was a ton. Obviously brought me huge results. And I invested in multiple programs that helped me a lot. One of them was like $5,500, for example, specifically on sales. I wanted to convert better, to improve that sales process, DMs, video DMs, calls, etc. Right? And it was January 2022. So some 8 months, 9 months since I started my journey, where I was advised by different I have multiple coaches at that time, mentors. One was 7-figure earner, by the way. He's now multiple 7-figure earner. And they all advised me different ways to monetize, like with coaching, like affiliate offers, and then affiliate offers plus coaching, and then some higher like coaching offers, etc. And what happened, I was doing also some kind of JV with Mia at the time, and he was off. We were talking back and forth, and he wasn't online at all. He decided to take like 10 days or 2 weeks off, something like that, which for me at that time, and I was new, felt like a century because I'm waiting for him to come back so we finish this. I was doing my stuff and with my coaches, mentors, so on. Anyhow, this is the true story, by the way. And then I see in his group, he had multiple programs at the time that were like active. And in one group, I see his assistant giving like a welcome to someone who just purchased the program, and program was high ticket. Then I see in another one, 2 days later, another welcome. And that was in span of like 3-4 days. And I thought, like, what am I doing? Like, okay, this is working what I'm doing, but he's on a vacation. He just had 2 high ticket sales. He doesn't even know he had them, right? He's like off somewhere. Now, I'm not telling you on passive income or anything like that. I would never say that's passive, right? That's BS. That's for Nathan Bonkers, if you know him. Like selling those, but I realized I need to, what he was doing, he was selling one to many, what's called. What I was doing, I was selling one to one. And I realized, and I thought, I was doing one-to-one lead gen, building goodwill and everything, like all of us, right? Posting content, posting like post stories, maybe doing lives, interviews, maybe posting videos, reels, whatever. That's all one-to-many content-wise, marketing. But it's not necessarily selling, and it's really hard to sell, especially high ticket directly from the profile, just like that. And so I realized he's actually selling and closing people one to many, right? So he had multiple assets where people would come in because of those. So it would generate him leads. They would maybe even pay and become a customer to get access to those, like low ticket, something. And then they would consume that, get sold, in the end, buy and whatever, right? And I thought, like, this is what I should do. So I didn't just switch immediately. I didn't have the skills to do that. And I was aware of that. I remember telling a couple of people that I'm going to focus on that now, learning more one to many. And so that was January 2022. August, September 2022, I released my first one to many like asset. And it started bringing me high ticket sales. Here and there, it still needed closing and so on. And then February, March 2023, so that's full year later, I had an asset that brought me 31,000 in 3 weeks without me closing a single deal or helping anyone. Like, so since then, I've completely switched my model. Now, I'm not saying you should, I mean, completely like Joe now do, gung ho go in. But the point is that having assets in place, even if they don't close deals for you or they don't sell them, if they just pre-sell, if they just attract you leads and then pre-sell them, it's more than enough. It will save you a lot of time. So you can skip. What I mean by this is you can generate leads. First of all, it's easier. The dynamics are different if they're coming because they want something from you, right? Not to mention if they want to pay for that, right? To get it from you and become a customer first. And then to have that work for you, so you skip the building a rapport phase, talking, connecting, like the basic stuff, talking about whatever, family, weather, kids, pets, I mean, you can still do that, but not to waste and spend, I don't know how much time doing that, right? Where you can do one to many, where you warm up people, show them immediately, you can help them and skip that whole phase. Does that make sense? By the way, I said a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it does. It's
Yeah,
pretty
awesome.
good.
Okay. Do you maybe have any questions about it?
How do you do it? Well, I gotta go through the years.
Okay, that's a good one. How do you do it? I like that. It's practical.
Yeah.
Let me see chat. I see a few messages. I'm still at work, so have to be quiet. Okay, got it. Yeah, exciting. So Gemma says exciting. Okay. Okay, cool. So that's, I hope you're excited, because I would be. Like, that's a true story. That's literally how I transition that in terms of how I do stuff, right? So what we have done, obviously, he also had like 30K month, 20K month, had the 5-figure day, I had the 5-figure day, and I mean with assets, right? I don't mean like jumping on calls and closing people, which if you want to do, awesome, it can only help, right? Use all the weapons you have, absolutely, but and all the channels, whatever. But if you can do this and automate this process to a certain extent, right, you will see how powerful it can be. Whatever you can do one-to-one, this is like scaling that, right? It's like putting fuel on the fire. So we have basically compressed the steps here. And from the both of us experiences, obviously we have slightly different styles, do the same thing, but in slightly different ways. But we have compressed all of that here. And you have step-by-step videos of what to do. So the track phase, as you can see here. So number one, come with the acquisition asset ideas. And the reason some of you have been here a bit longer, so the reason we call it like this is because a lot of people use, let me just say that, a lot of people use different lead magnets. And most people who use lead magnets use it the way the name sounds to generate leads, right? But we realize this is not just generating you leads. If you do it correctly, right? Like this is actually selling for you. Yourself, your offer, right? It can be done in different ways. I would do it where I'm selling specific offer, but I also did it as an affiliate when I had many different high ticket offers where I would more like selling myself, my process, right? And then I can recommend which of those offers would be a solution for them, if that makes sense. So you will see here the lesson step by step, how to pick, find ideas and how to pick ideas, which one to work on. And then, so that's step one, obviously, coming up with an idea. Now, a few of you already have ideas and have worked on some, right? And we went over that on the call. So I don't know where you are with that. You can update me on what's happening. So then the next step would be naming to 10x your leads. This is where the name is super important. Like on the first step, actually getting people to say yes or to reach out to you or to raise their hand, this is where the name plays a huge role. Probably the biggest lever you can pull is to generate leads, right? Not to sell them, not to close them and so on, because that will determine what's the asset and how good it is, right? What it's going to do. But the name itself will generate and bring you more leads if it's good, obviously. So you have then a video on that, the naming strategy. Then the next one is to validate and pre-sell. But do you have any questions about this, by the way? Okay. So the next one would be to validate and pre-sell your next acquisition asset. You don't want to just sit and now work on it. You got the ideas, right? You got the name, but you don't want to, and you can change this based on the test you do and so on, but you don't want to waste time creating it, only later to put it out and market says they don't want it, right? And I'll give you an example of that, how you cannot know. I had one where I was preparing it was like a training that led to a wait list for a promotion I was doing for a program. And so I had multiple ideas for the trainings. One was how I made whatever it was multiple 5 figures or something like that with one thing. And then the other was how I made 4K with the simple Google Doc. And 4K won, even though the result was way, way smaller, right? And it's because people that raised their hand, that were interested, resonated with that more, right? Probably they could see themselves making that 4K or making 2K, 3K, 1K, then making multiple 5 figures, right? So even though this sounds like a bigger promise, and I could actually do much longer training, more in depth on the other one, right? So you don't know what people will actually say yes to. So you want to validate, and not just validate, you want to pre-sell it. And so the way you're going to do that is there are multiple options. So when it comes to that, you can do reach outs. You can do, I wouldn't recommend cold here. I would recommend warm outreach. So either you have certain KLT with them, or even better, if you have past clients, past customers, people that bought something from you before. They trust you, you help, you were supporting them, and so on, whatever. Like that's one option. Content is another option, and then you have with content, it can be an email if you use. It can be polls on your Facebook story. Polls are very easy because you're not asking too much just for them to click. It can be poll in your group. If you have one, it can even be poll on your profile, just they need to then comment. You don't have poll feature like you have in stories and in the group. So they can just write the answer, right? But some of the, and you will see some other ways in the video when you watch. But it's very important that you do that, right? So we got the idea, we got the name, and then we validate and pre-sell it. So those two I put together because they overlap really. When the way you do research, you're basically also validating the idea. And if you're using outreach or polls, you're also kind of pre-selling it. You're already planting the seeds, right? If that makes sense. So they kind of overlap, go together. Then you will choose the format to deliver your thing. That's very important because some things really fit well in, let's say, like I just mentioned, the Google Doc I used to make 4K in a week. Like that's something I did early on in my journey. And then I created a whole thing about that to generate leads and sell them on the offer that will help them with that. And so it makes sense that that thing is in a Google Doc, right? Because that's the whole point, what I'm sharing there, right? On the other hand, there are stuff where you want to actually show them something, graphs or whatever it is, and you might need to do video, right? So there's different reasons you will see here why and what formats you can choose. So that works. And then next is to get them excited and hyped for it before you put it out. This is something that most people, even with just simple lead gen, they fail to do, where they have an idea or there's a promo for a program or there's some new training or whatever. They just come out right of the gate and they drop like a lead gen post about, you know, we know how good is the thing. They know how good is the thing or why that promo is so good or whatever, but most people don't know. So we need to do like a little mini campaign. That's actually, I mean, real marketing, right? Where you actually give them a hint about it, then you educate them on it, you get them hyped, excited, and you want to do that because you will have people, like it happened to me so many times, where people cannot wait. They see I'm announcing, saying something I'm going to share, that they message me on Messenger to ask for it themselves. Like they literally reach out to me, right? And that's what you want to do. That's the ideally what happens. Once you start getting those, okay, that means the campaign is working, right? And they really want the thing. So imagine then how much they will want it once you drop the you know, your lead gen post and so on. Otherwise, you can just drop today something. Most people won't see it. Then those that see it maybe won't raise their hand. Then some of them, they don't know enough. You didn't sell them on it. Then some that do raise their hand or comment or whatever, or hit the poll or whatever. When you follow up, this happens a lot. Maybe it happened to you. Let me know if it did. People forget that they even commented, like, or they said yes, or they, you know, because when they scroll their feed, they see something, or maybe they didn't tell you they forgot, but they just don't respond, right? It's like they ghost you, but they didn't ghost you because, like, they, in a lot of cases, they just don't remember what was it, right? Or they, if they need it at all. And what happens, people scroll and see something interesting and they just say yes, but they weren't really sold on it. And then how to create the copy for it. So I don't know, have you ever done this?
Is being recorded.
The end, how to create a mock-up for the thing, logo, and so on, because you can increase the perceived value of the thing if it looks like better, looks premium, but also if it conveys what they're getting, right? If they can actually see something tangible they're gonna get, like you kind of like productize it if you do some kind of mock-up, right? It will then, when that happens, you can increase the likelihood of them consuming the thing, right? Does that make sense? And do you have any questions about this? So a few of you are working right now on some. So can you tell me, based on this, what you see here, these 7 steps, like where you are right now? Like, I know, Leslie, you planned on doing one. I know Badra already, I think, started. Maribo, I think, is working on one.
Yeah, I had to redo mine completely because this is not the way I thought about it.
Okay.
So I'm missing a lot of things.
Like what? What's the difference?
Well, the one I was doing, the video, and we went through a couple, I did not have a good, strong end in mind.
Okay. You
And
mean like
I see the weakness. Yeah. And I was doing a video rather than a Google Doc. So that's,
okay.
so I have to go through this whole thing and redo. I have some ideas. I need to redo the structure of this stuff.
Okay. So when you say the end goal in mind, you mean the high ticket potentially they could buy, like to upsell?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So the one I was doing, actually there were 2 of them. One is I was doing the end in mind towards specific products rather than doing it for a general lead gathering thing. See,
You
this,
mean-
this is a difference. I mean, I was going for LSP and I was going for your product. But
Okay.
the lead magnet were devoted to that rather than the acquisition of the leads in general, which is what I want to do the lead on. Or are we in the wrong track here?
No, but it can
Is
lead
it-
to a certain offer.
Right. But my end in mind was that offer itself. So which like when I was doing OLSP, I was excluding a lot of things which are devoted to your products, like some of the DMs and all that, and I was trying to do yours. I was excluding a couple of things I learned on OLSP. So I had to rethink that. I think we need the end in mind for 2 types of avatars I have. One is the experience of lead marketers, the other one is the newbies.
Okay.
And they need 2 different leads. So I got to go through that whole thing again now that I see this. I haven't gone through this at all. I've been off for a month. So, but
Yeah,
that
I
gave me
know
some
you
good
were-
ideas. Yeah.
Yeah, I know
So-
what happened. You didn't have the time and
Right.
okay. Yeah, so maybe the best would be, that's why I wanted to cover this first. Like to go through the videos.
Right.
You know,
I'll go through all
then
of that.
also awesome. Then also you will have more insights about, okay, what you want to do. It will give you ideas and also the questions. Okay, what actually we can help you with, what do you need feedback on and so on, because some questions you might have now that are answered in the videos, right? So to use better the time and to be more effective. So, but you can lead, just one thing on that. Ideally, you lead to one thing, because the way you want to position it, the way you're going to work on ideas, this is very important. You do start, and in the idea section that's explained, you will see the video that you want to have end goal in mind, right? Because it should be congruent for whoever's going to get interested in the thing, ask you for it, comment, whatever. That lead needs to go on a journey through this thing, right? And to lead them to the next logical step, so you can educate them on the problem they have, or you can reveal like something they're missing or some problem they have, or, you can approach it different ways. So that either, like, for example, let's say you do a lead magnet, right? And you get leads. What happens, a lot of them just want the thing, whatever, for free, or they're not sold enough, and they ghost you, they don't respond, they're not interested in moving forward. They do respond. So there are huge problems with how people usually do lead magnets, right? So
Right.
if I now do a training, right, in some shape or form on that and how to improve that, then what would be the next step is they need to learn how to create an acquisition asset, something that actually works and sells those people, influences them on the next step. So that's
Right.
kind of like a follow-up problem, right? You have this first problem, actually getting leads. Once you have that, and I show you, you also need to sell them. Otherwise, you won't, have
Right.
any success with anything. So,
Correct.
okay, well, then what's the next step and how to achieve that? Can you just give me 1 second? I'm sorry. I think I got mail. I have to, just a second. I'm back. It's not. I'm expecting something. I was super excited. It's a cleaner. So, so there'll be follow-up problem, right? And you can do it like that. They will have the next problem. There's always a follow-up problem, right? Whatever you are doing, like whatever we do in life or business. So you can structure like that, that I solve this one mini narrow step problem for you. And then the next one is, whatever my thing is that I want you to get. Another would be, well, I actually reveal what you're missing, what's not working well for you, right? What pieces of the puzzle, like I show you how I do stuff, teach you some stuff, but you see you're missing a lot. And if you don't join me, you won't, get those answers, right? Those two, I would say, are hey, Vladimir, those two, just a second. Sorry, guys. So those two are, I would say, most effective ways to lead people to the next thing, So when you're talking about that one specific offer, you either want to give them, find what could that be to give them the first step and help them get started or solve something, but it will lead, there's the next thing they need to do. And they don't know how to do that on their own, or they don't have what they need, and so on. Okay, so that's one. Another is like teaching them the whole process or parts of it, so that they actually, it shows them what they're missing without you like telling them, telling them like you don't know this, or if you're missing that, or if you're struggling with whatever. You know what I mean? You're actually giving
Yeah.
them value. I can actually show you that. Have any of you seen like my training, 3 Elements to 4-Figure Conversations? So I can give you access to that one if you want to take a look. But for example, that one, let me see, I think I wanted to cover that because we'll give you some real life examples. So
What's the title?
3 Elements to 4-Figure Conversations.
No.
Yeah, so here, let me show you for just a second. I have it. So this is how on the mobile it looked. This was the sign up page. And then and it was free, and then I put like $1, whatever. And so, and you see the name itself like communicates what it is, right? And
Right.
the outcome, the mechanism, the strategy, and the outcome, right? 3 Elements to 4-Figure Conversations. It tells you also what conversations, messenger, right? And this is how it looked inside the training. Some of the, let me see, some of the screenshots, as you can see, right? And so what I'm doing here you have stage 1, connect, stage 2, audition, stage 3, propose, and then you have multi-step in connect that you're gonna do, multi-step in audition, and multi-step in propose when you're making the offer. So this is like you are connecting with a new friend or getting a spammy friend request from someone, and then how to turn that around. And then this is basically when you close a deal. So the 3 elements, the most important 3 elements, are transitioning from this friendly conversational rapport building to qualification process, what they audition, what I call. Then the second one would be reframing them onto the actual problem,
Mhm.
and then educating them on the problem. What's the really problem, right? Not what's the root cause, not what they think, what's the symptom. We talked about it, if you remember. And then reframing. And then the last step is why now? Once you present the offer and they say they're going to think about it, or they will join when they come back from a vacation, or whatever the reason is, because that's, I mean, we all make decisions like that. It's human nature, right? It's easier to postpone, right? If it's something, even if it's something small, we have that, like if a friend calls me now to whatever for a cup of coffee, I might be like going back and forth with myself, should I go or not, right? You want to help them decide now. And so how to give them that one. But you will notice what else is happening in this training is that, okay, once you figure out the transition, the reframe, and why now, and I teach you that there are multiple videos, it's a full training, you realize you're missing this part here. You're missing this part, and you're missing this part. And I do mention them as I go. I just don't teach those. I'm teaching these elements. But in my program, NCI, if you join,
Teach
Master Control and Influence, I go through all of it.
Actually.
So do you understand what I mean?
Yeah,
So
so
this
you
is
only
other-
so you only talk about the connection phase in this acquisition stuff. There's 3 elements to fulfill, and for details you have to buy the MCI course.
Yeah, so
Is that the idea?
I talk about transition from the first phase. So I tell you there are multiple things you need to do here, but this is most important, knowing how to make that transition. Because a lot of people are stuck in a funny conversation, they don't know what to do. And when they do try to transition, it's like awkward, abrupt, where the other person feels, are you selling me? Like, what's happening? Like, I didn't expect this, or they ghost you, they don't want to talk anymore, or whatever happens, right? So how to overcome that? Second would be how to reframe. This probably they don't know about this. Most people don't know it's most effective way to sell anything, be it one-to-one or one-to-many, to actually reframe. Like talking about symptom, this is what is happening. This is what you're going through right now, experiencing this, blah, blah, blah. And you can say that from your own experience. Ideally, you have been through that. And then you're explaining that that's not the actual problem. Here's what I realized, right? Like when I was TikTok, my first try with affiliate marketing was TikTok. For like 10 days or 2 weeks, I was doing the point videos because everyone was doing. I paid 2,500 for a program, and everyone was doing that. I thought, okay, this is the way to do it, whatever, right? So I thought I need to find these sounds. I need to find viral content to copy, right? And I would literally copy those that others were doing. I mean, it's embarrassing. I show you now to me what I was doing, but everyone was doing that, right? That's what they were teaching. And people are making like sales. You see shout outs, you're like, I want that too, right? And so I thought I needed better trendy sounds, better viral videos, or more, or whatever. That's what I thought, right? To get more views. But that's not the real problem, right? Because I'm getting, even those that I'm getting some random vague people to see those videos, right? So I can explain my experience with it, like the beginning of this, what I just told you, but go into the rest. And then I can tell you what's the actual problem. And then I tell you how I solved the problem.
Right.
So that'd be reframing. So now you see that I really understand your situation and I've been through that. You're going to trust me more. But also, I'm educating you on a new problem. You weren't aware of this. And I have a new solution for that problem, right? So that's reframing. And you can do that obviously in content. You can do it one-to-one. I mean, not just content, one-to-many or one-to-one, you can use it. So that was in audition phase, right? But they don't know what to do before that. How do you reach that amount of that point where you have so much trust that they will actually listen to that? That's what's missing here, right? And then the next one, why now, right? To close a deal, which is a huge problem. Most people don't want to make a decision. And that's really, even if they're sold on it, I like my friend. I do want to go for a coffee with him, but I'm not sure should I do it now, right? And I'm going back and forth with me. So you help me make that decision, right? But what they don't have is how do you unpack the offer? How do you present the offer? So the person actually even thinks about. So they even tell me, like, I want it, but I'll buy next month. I'll join when I come back from Greece, whatever. You understand? So that's what's missing. So they want that now. And if I over deliver with this transition reframe, why now, and show them my authority and what I know about it, what they don't, or and they don't have in whatever they have right now, whatever they're doing, they will also want the rest. What about these, right?
Right.
Does that make sense?
So you would consider this your acquisition asset?
100%. I used it to generate leads. So we did, obviously I did content to get
Right.
them here. And I have a huge authority about this. I reviewed thousands of conversations. First, I had done, but also I reviewed for people in the other programs when I was an affiliate, like where coach would ask me on the call to join him and we review conversations from his clients, my colleagues from the program together. That's how it started. They liked my feedback and how I would, dissect the concept. Then I did for my clients. I was also invited in other programs when I did GVs, whatever. Literally, I've seen thousands of messenger conversations. So when I see one, I don't have to think about it. I just know, okay, here's what you shouldn't have said. Then this is what you should do here. Here's where you want to ask for a permission, right? So I share that in content that gives me authority, and I show them the experience and the proof, obviously the success I had with it. And I tell them that I packed it all. I found these 3 elements that every single deal closing conversation had these 3 elements, right? So wouldn't you want those 3? So this is what I cover in content. And if you want, you can get them. I created this whole training, 3 elements to 4-figure conversations. Once you sign up, I also get your email, and the email sequence starts going that will nurture you to get you back to watch the lessons, number 1, to congratulate you on completing the lessons you completed, right? And also to give you a bit more proof, my case studies, my success, but also my clients with it and so on. So it's selling you, right? It's not, but there's no pitch until you receive those and until you watch the training, right? Does that make sense? Because most
Right.
people generate a lead, they try to sell or give them a webinar. It's like, just a pitch. You just fluff and then pitch. This is actually training, like really training, right? It's just not complete. Otherwise, it'd be like 5 hours if I went through everything. So then they consume this. And obviously, you can have a conversation in the meantime. That would help, And here I pulled one comment. There's a ton of comments, and it says, eye-opening way to approach sales. You see here?
Yeah.
And I have also another one where people would recommend each other. They weren't my affiliates, but they would recommend each other the training. That's how good they thought it was, right? So imagine telling someone else, I recommend you, Badra, I watched this training, blah, 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 but it's actually, I'm using it to acquire customers, to sell my thing. And I'm recommending it to you, sending you, it's like word of mouth marketing. Can we get these 3 elements? Yeah, man, of course. Just let me know. I will upload actually to have the names, and because there will be people catching the replay, I will upload the replay to the school, right? And then I will write below. If you want it, just comment below, okay? I have your emails in school anyhow, and I'll just send you by email the access so you can check that. I want
So,
to, yeah, sorry, who was it?
so I had a question.
Yes,
So from what I see the example, you're actually launching a product. The acquisition asset is a product in itself, with emails, with opening
why-
statement, because you're doing the only thing you also have a sales page to sell it into the system.
but no. This led to MCI program.
No, I know. So what you're doing,
That's the product.
you're doing a mini launch. So your acquisition seems to be a mini launch of a product which sells the bigger product. Am I
You
mistaken?
could say it like that. I like that. I like how, what's his name? Dana, I forgot his name. He says, sell the thing that sells your thing.
Right, right.
Like, I love that sentence. That's exactly you put it well.
That's
Yeah.
what you're saying. Ah,
Yeah. So
nice.
I'm
Well,
selling
there's a
that
different view. Yeah, okay.
on the thing that once they consume it will sell my thing that I want to sell.
So your
Right.
acquisition is based on a product you're selling to, not general. In this case, it
The end
was.
goal, yeah, 100%. Because it makes
Got
it easier. You see how much easier it is to do that? Because it's
Yeah.
revealing, in this case, right? It's revealing what they're missing. But if
Right.
I'm doing something in general, it will be much harder. If it leads to the one thing, it's much easier, right?
All right.
Facebook link to Snowball Method yesterday, so I'm getting info mode right now. I want to coach, but using affiliate programs courses, so more done with you coaching. That's a great idea, Jim. I think it's a great idea to monetize further like your efforts, because that's what I did in the beginning. What you can do is like, okay, you get this affiliate offer, you can start with that and I give you support, this and that, whatever. But you can also do, you get this affiliate offer, and if you get that, like my coaching is X, but if you get this affiliate offer that I can actually help you with, that I'm making sales with, right? I had certain success, then you will get my coaching for like Y, right?
Mm.
And then you monetize on both fronts, and it's easier for you to actually help them with something that you are using yourself, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's a great idea. I didn't understand. Can you tell me, what do you mean you were rating Facebook link to the Snowball Method?
Yeah, so can you hear me, Stephen?
Yeah, perfect.
I basically, obviously, I've been looking for programs and things that are going to complement what I can do to do the heavy lifting for me, because I'm not great at transferring the information from what I'm reading. So the idea to have that course there to do it, and then I'll talk to them and do it with them. And that's what I want to do. That's it. Before, I was only selling programs. I was just sending links, selling programs, but it's naff and I don't like it. I come across the organic marketing with yourself and Alenka when I did the traffic challenge back in June, and that's changed my whole direction completely. So in my lead magnet, it's because I'm trying to put myself out there now as like a bit of a coach that's doing programs now. So I kind of swapped all my profile around, and now my lead magnet that I want to do, I want it to act like the authority builder. It's like the introduction to them, well, but maybe with that little offer at the end about the organic marketing side first. So because a lot of the people that I'm getting coming to me, they've already got what they want to sell. They're already kind of getting here, there, and everywhere. They're already set up, but they're not making sales. They think they need more leads, but they don't really. They just need to learn how to market a bit better. So that's the kind of thing that I'm doing. So when I looked at the PLR access, and it mentioned the Snowball Method, there was a link underneath that took me to one of your older posts, because obviously that Snowball Method was made way before I even came into the market. So I was reading your post, and within your Facebook post, there's a lot of things that my customers are mentioning, my leads are mentioning, and there's a lot of things that I'm doing at the moment as well in there. So the fact that I believe that might tie in quite nicely as a starting point for where my customers are, as well as helping me as well. So that's what I'm kind of gonna. I've decided that I'm gonna sort of process my lead magnet around, because that's where my avatar seemed to be. When I was reading your post, I was like, oh yeah, they said that when they came into my group. Oh yeah, they said that in their questions and little things. So that's kind of what I'm doing, and I'm just working on content at the moment to reflect what they're telling me if they're coming into the group. Or if I see someone with a problem in a group, I'll make a piece of content. Add them as a friend, make some content.
That's awesome. So just to get this straight, when you read the post, what you resonate with is I assume they're sending the links like that, their offer in the Google Doc or sales page or something like that, or
Yeah, little things like that. Or a lot of them are kind of getting to the right place, but they're not even making content to reflect anything or things like this. I don't know. I just feel a little bit lost as to what to include with this to do the listing for me.
okay.
I've got a lot of people that are at different little areas, so there's so much, isn't there? There's content, there's posting, there's making offers, there's this, and I'm just a little bit not quite sure where my exact ideal avatar are. They seem to be making sales, posting content about products. They're not getting leads, they're not making sales,
They're posting content about?
nothing. They're just posting content about the product or pictures of it and things like that. They're not resonating with anybody at all. I've got a lot of people saying that they're getting people in Messenger that don't know what to do with them from there. I jumped on your traffic challenge, and that's perfect for them as well.
Okay.
That helped me. That really helped me. That sticks with me. That first traffic challenge that I did for yourself in Lancaster, I've still got that in my system, my system, and I refer to that all the time.
Awesome. Well, I can give you an affiliate link for that, so you have if you wish to. We're also hosting a sprint. We're doing one right now, and
I know, and I missed it. I missed that. So I've been seeing everyone doing it, Leslie, and things like things like this, and I'm like, oh my god, I missed this one.
we're getting some really good feedback. We are doing another one in October. So yeah. So you can then use those also, obviously, to recommend to them, but I would definitely then create around that. I mean, I think it'd be better that you go through the videos. It will give you more clarity, what questions to ask, where to look, and so on. We don't have much time. And then on the call, we can next time go over it, and you can obviously share it also in the community.
I'm now thinking, I think the traffic challenge would be a better place to start for mine, and then I can maybe lead them on later to the snowball.
Okay. Yeah. So that will give you ideas, because I think you have a lot of space there to educate them on why that is not working. It's just how you approach it now, from what angle, how do you educate them on it, right? How do you do, the reframing, and how do you structure it, right? What I mentioned, those two types. One, do you solve a little thing for them up front, and then it leads to the follow-up thing, the follow-up problem? Or do you do what I showed you here, the second example? Where you reveal what they're missing, with what they're doing. And obviously you did it yourself, so that's great, because you have a great story. When you share that, you see, when I'm talking now about TikTok, how I get, all worked up about it or whatever.
Yeah.
It's because I'm like reliving what I went through. Now to me, it's ridiculous what I did, right? But that's what they were teaching me. I didn't know. But then that's what resonates with people who are in that situation, right? So I think you have a great opportunity there. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm going to submit it soon anyway, because I've just got to level 3. So I'll fill it all out and I'll submit. Yeah.
Awesome. No, that's a great idea. Definitely.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you.
Welcome. Anyone else? Do you have any questions about it, or if you're working on something right now based on this?
Yes, Stephen over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, actually, I have done a 3-day masterclass last month from from 18 to 20 on the Facebook group conversion method.
Okay.
So what how I have structured, how you have structured your part, which you have gone through today, I saw that I missed on that hyping, creating that hype part. So it was an hour of masterclass each day. I did it for 3 days. And now I feel that can I just create that, I put that inside my private community, it's in my private community. So can I just redo that hype or validate something like that and then put that as an asset or bring folks to that? Can it be done?
Mm.
Sorry. So does it work? Does it convert?
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, then you can definitely, absolutely. You can remove it and announce releasing if you want to redo something. That way you will really create like, okay, this, hype, you're dropping something and it's tested, proven, and now it's, 2.0, whatever, right? So, so you have social proof, people went through it already, you got some comments or feedback, etc. So that can be one way. The other, you can just start doing it right now and, inviting them, using it as a funnel to funnel them into the group to get access to that. And start doing that. What you said about the, hype, what I would say that's pre-selling it. People miss that because you feel like I got this masterclass, I'm doing 1 hour, 3 days in a row, I'm giving so much value, I'm teaching all these things I bought in these programs, I invested so much, whatever, but they don't know that. And if you don't structure and do a mini campaign with content and also reach outs and actually sell them on that, right? Then, like, for example, before I started showing you anything in this checklist, what did I do today? I told you the meal story briefly, and I told you my epiphany story. Why? That's framing. I don't need to sell you on it. It's up to you if you're going to use it, right? But it's, you get into that, it becomes a second nature, I just know that you will value it more, you will use it more, better, it will work for you guys better if I frame it the right way, right? So this is what really happened. And I told you the story. But if I didn't do that, now you pick parts of the story you're going to say. I could tell you the whole thing, right? And if Mia's here and he tells you his, maybe we speak about it for 2 days, right? But you want to, I always say, it's all about framing, right? And what's in it for you. So when you hear the results, the epiphany, what I went through, what was my before and what was my after, Badr immediately say, how do you do it? Right? Like, why? Because, okay, I want that too. So you always want to start practicing whatever you're doing, be it one-on-one, be it in content, wherever, to always think about framing. Always. Like, I always say, you ask 3 questions. Now, maybe in the beginning, it's a little bit hard to answer them, but with time, it gets easier, better. But even if you cannot answer, if you just ask those questions, it will help you. And that is, what do I want them to know? What do I want them to think? And what do I want them to feel? Right? So that I influence you, that you actually take it seriously and take action. Right? But if I just go and say, I got this checklist, I think it's amazing. I spent 3 years working full-time here, for the last 2 years, using just assets. I don't have to do much one-to-one at all. I haven't, right? And I know that in my head, but I just come and tell you, hey guys, here's these 7 steps, and you got these videos, and that's what people do, right? Those are the features, right? But there's no value for you. You don't see it. And people do that on their feeds. I see all the time. They just come out of nowhere with why this thing, that you need it or it's the best or whatever. But there's no proper pre-selling. There's no proper frame why it's valuable, why they would need it, and so on. Right? So you want to start thinking, like that.
Yeah, I suppose I missed on that because I have got almost 50 folks getting that particular master class inside a separate community. I created a separate community for that. I got almost 58 or 59 members inside that. But most of them, I saw that they were not going through it because that framing part, maybe I missed on that. Most of them were not going through that.
Yeah, absolutely. Same like with this, what I just mentioned. Most of you haven't watched any of those videos. You just told me you got the, maybe you were also busy, but you know, because we did a post about it. Here's the checklist, right? Bookmark, do this, whatever. You saw that, you smashed the bookmark, you did whatever, but you didn't, you know, go through it, right? So what's missing is the pre-selling part, right? Like, okay, why actually you need that? Why it's good, right? What's the story behind it, and so on. And so you want to get into that mode to always use that, whatever it is. You know, then it gets easier as you actually promote and sell something if you always do it, you know. Yeah. Anyone else? Do you have any other questions?
Yeah, this was a good session. Thank you.
I'm glad, man. I actually wanted to cover more of mine, but this we are running out of time. But we can do that next time to give you more examples, like real life.
Right.
So you see, I think it'd be helpful and it will give you ideas what you can do and so on, right? Awesome. So I will upload the replay, obviously, to school, and I will just write there. Then whoever wants access to that one, the 3 elements, you can just comment, and I will, you know, give you access there.
Thank
Lovely,
you.
thank you.
Awesome. And if you have any questions, maybe something comes up in meantime, or when you catch the, or anyone watching the replay, by the way, just leave the comment in the community, and we'll answer it for you.
I think I need to get through the videos.
Awesome. Yeah. Great. Well, good seeing
Thank
you.
you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe see you tomorrow.
Thank
Mio
you.
and I are doing a training in my group. If you haven't seen that, maybe you want to join us and come.
So your time for that is 7 p.m. BST or something.
No. 9 p.m., 9 a.m. EST. So that would be maybe 6
EST?
your time, Batra.
Hold on. 9 a.m.
What did you say?
EST?
Yeah.
That time.
Wait,
Okay.
you're on the West Coast or East Coast?
I'm on the, well, if you give me the East Coast, I'll take the West Coast one. So if it's 9 a.m. EST, 6 o'clock in the morning for me.
Yeah.
The
That's
West
what
Coast.
I thought.
Correct,
Yeah.
right?
6.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, make that one.